Hey folks, Deano here again. This time, finally, taking a look at, well, one of the figures I've been most excited about. This is the Figuarts Bardock. Yeah, finally. This has been out for quite some time across the pond and in Japan, but here in the UK, he's only just released. I'm not sure what the hold-up was, maybe something to do with that container and things like that, but either or, he's here, finally. And yeah, I'm quite happy with him. I'll just say it off the bat. He does have a few slight niggly issues, but I mean, we'll get to that. So yeah, first things first, let's take a look at the box, as per usual. So we've got Figuarts Bardock on the side, new Tamashii seal, not so new now, it's been out for a couple of years now. Picture of him on the front, holding his blast effect, a toy sticker, 15 and up, the usual stuff. Slight damage on the bottom. I don't think that was the fault of the company I bought it from, Toys-R-Rama, sorry. It was well packaged when it got here, so I don't know. We have distribution label over the top of the Japanese stuff. This is distributed by Hio. I am not sure if we've seen that one before. There you go, YouTube. This is not a toy, but a collector's item. It is not suitable for children. Just letting you know. So yeah, we've got some more pictures of Bardock here. Some nice ones there. In fact, I can make use of the new setup I've got. It's much bigger now. I basically had to do it for an upcoming figure. I've recorded it, but it won't be out for like a week or two leading up to it. We'll just say he's purple and a dinosaur, and he's not Barney. So yeah, just a teaser there. So yeah, box is looking good. Spent a bit longer than that than we should have, but yeah, here's the main event himself, Bardock. You'll notice that I've got him on without the scouter. He does come with that on in the package, but I much prefer him without. To be honest, I'm planning on getting two of this guy eventually. Saying eventually, he'll probably sell out immediately and I'll never be able to get him. But yeah, with Demoniacal Fit bringing out the Super Saiyan head for him, yeah, I need that in my life. I'll be honest. The greens on this guy really aren't doing themselves any favours on camera. It's kind of coming across almost green mustard, but it's not, I can assure you. It is a nice green colour. The green is matte. The actual armour itself is glossy. Nice contrast there. I've heard a few people complain about that, but to be honest, I quite like it. It gives the armour a bit more of a realistic sort of feel, if that makes any sense, rather than it being just a hunk of what amounts to plastic, even though in this case it is, but you know what I mean. It doesn't have any shading on the skin, I can tell, but it's not really bad looking. Still decent. There's no real shading to speak of on this guy, to be honest. The only thing I'm not really fond about is the red. I don't know, I feel as if that could be a bit more vibrant for him. But yeah, everything else is totally fine. The tail isn't like Vegeta's. It's actually just a floating piece with this tail section on his rear end, which sort of just fits over it and gives the illusion that it's coming out of his derriere, shall we say. So yeah, it gives the illusion while not hindering articulation any, which is a good sign. But yeah, on to accessories now. He doesn't come with a whole lot. It's not a bad amount, to be completely honest, but they could have done a bit better. You've got this, which is his signature attack, which unfortunately is, I'm drawing a mind blank as to what it is. But yeah, you get a specific hand, which they've done it different to the trunks that came out a couple of years ago, where it's actually keyed, so it fits in. I don't know if they had some breakage issues with that. My trunks has been completely fine ever since. So yeah, just slots in one particular way. The actual effect itself is decent. Towards the bottom, it's got like silver shading on it, almost like a dry brush. But yeah, it's just a bit of transparent blue plastic. I know in the series when he done that attack, it wasn't the most amazing looking. It was just really a key ball. But I don't know, a sort of little halo around about it or some lines. It's fine. It gets the job done. I'm nitpicking. You can tell when I like a figure because I start nitpicking the slightest things. He does come with a pair of key blast hands, which are splayed out really nicely actually. They're not just your standard flat palms. They do have some range to them, which is good. Lends itself well to how he poses. He gets one other pair of hands, which is the same design as the one with the hole in it, just standard grabby hands without the hole, and that's about it. In terms of faces, he comes with 4 faces. You've got the one that's on him, nice stern looking face. For some reason his brow is quite extended in the middle. I don't know why. But yeah, stern face, looks good. Probably the one that I'll have on him. He does have a smirk. But yeah, to me, Bardock was more of just a warrior. He wasn't smug in any way, so yeah, in my opinion, doesn't really fit him. You've got nice gritted teeth face. I think mine actually has... Is that a defect, or is that actual part of the sculpt? I think it might be part of the sculpt. I've just done the colour a bit too much. And finally, you've got an open mouth, yelling face, which again looks really good. And that's all that he really comes with, apart from the scouter, which I'll show again. It's just a green one. It's got a new sort of way that it attaches, so it does mean that his ear is a separate accessory technically. It gets the job done, I suppose. That just slots into a hole on the side and fits on really well. Once it's on him though, I'll show it in a second, it kinda goes a bit lower than I'd like. I quite like the scouter being directly across his eye, but the sculpt sort of has it like that, which I'm not a fan of. And finally, he comes with a separate hairpiece, where This is sort of tucked over. That's so that the Scouter will fit. As you can see on the normal face, it's actually right up to his ear. But yeah, all in all, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. The face is a bit annoying, I will be honest. So when you do that, you'll notice his ear has immediately flew off into the distance. A tiny, tiny little piece. I suggest you do not leave that anywhere at all. So that fits into the same spot as the Scouter, but it's very loose. And yeah, I don't know if this was saving money or what have you, but his bandana is a separate piece. It probably is to save money, let's be honest. They don't have to use as much plastic on all the faces, and they don't have to paint it. They can just mould it in this plastic colour. Unfortunately though, that means that you can't have him without his bandana, which really, in my opinion, makes the Scouter completely useless, because in the film, the original, not the Broly movie one, he had the Scouter on with the bandana for like one scene, and then when he's fighting Frieza, it's no longer there. Yeah, it's a decent attempt, but I mean, they could have given us some faces just without the bandana. So yeah, that's him with it on, and it's actually went on better than normal. Yeah, would you look at that? It's trying to prove me a liar, this figure. But yeah, it does look good. But as I said before, most of Bardock's most badass scenes was without it. So that's how he's going to be displayed on my shelf. So we'll pop the ear back in. Hope it doesn't fly off into the carpet and just get lost. There we go. And then proceed to drop this. So you'll see, if you put on the extra hairpiece, it's barely noticeable, to be fair, but you will see the hair sort of parts where the Scouter would be, whereas on the normal one, it's right up to his ear. So yeah, we have been talking about this figure for ages, so let's get on with it. So in terms of articulation, his head can look up really far, look down really far as well, thanks to his really well articulated neck more than anything else. He can side to side, swivel, all the usual. Just be careful, if you move his face too much, it starts coming off of his hair, and you don't want that earpiece just flying off into the distance. It does have nice articulation here at the shoulders. Now his biceps, everyone in the granny has said about how tight these are, and thank you for the ones in the comments sections of my videos actually warning me about it. It's incredibly tight, to the point that you're actually afraid to move it because it can break. His elbows are actually a new type of joint. I think they've only really used this on bigger figures before, like Broly. But yeah, he gets really, really nice articulation there, thanks to that. Well past 90. And his hands, slightly different. The ball pegs are smaller than usual, but still your standard peg. His ab crunch, normally you can get with that, which is still really good, but you can't pop it up. and give him an incredible crunch. You do get a slight gap at the back, but that's not really noticeable. You will notice that happened right there. This piece here tends to rub on this front, so be very careful when you're posing his ab section. You don't want paint rub on that green, it'll show the black immensely. Big words today. So yeah, he does have waist swivel. These PCs can get out of the way. He does have a kick out, which is hindered slightly by these things. So even though they get out of the way, there's still a slight issue with them. You can go back about that far. You can do a nice spread. Nice thigh swivel. Double joint at the knees, which no hindrance whatsoever. Ankle rocker, pivot, all the rest of it. And toe articulation, which gets 90, which is probably the best I've ever seen. But yeah, you can tell they spent quite a bit of time thinking up this guy's articulation. It's just really well done. And hopefully means we'll get a Turles in the future, because Turles is basically Bardock's head, Goku's face, and Vegeta's body. But yeah, suffice to say, I'm really looking forward to the Super Saiyan here. That's my favourite look for this Bardock. And thank goodness that wasn't paint chip. But yeah, guys, that will do it for this rather long video. You can tell when I really like a figure, because I spend forever talking about it. But yeah, guys, definitely one I'd recommend getting. So until next time, I'll see y'all later.